Good evening, all. Are we all good? I hope so. It is. I'm on a bit earlier than I was meant to be on. Why? 'Cause it is flipping freezing. I'm cold. I'm tired. I have stuck my heater on in the gym, but it'll take half an hour to heat up, and I'm just like, nah. I'm jumping on now. I'm gonna do about 40. I might do 40 minutes. 40 minutes. 20 past, maybe 25 past 8. And I think that'll be me bowing out for this evening. How was your Tuesday? Do you know what? I'm so confused today, honestly, because I had yesterday off, which was really nice actually, having a random Monday off. It's something I need to do, not loads, but need to do a little bit more of, really. We said next year when Rach gets an allowance back for a holiday, so like once every couple of months, let's just have a Monday off. Let's just have a nice Monday off. If you do that sort of 4 or 5 times a year, it's only 5 days holiday. And honestly, it was so nice just having that extra day to sort of chill. And I'm not going to lie, like a lot of people, it is hard this time of year. It really, really is hard this time of year to stay motivated, to stay on plan. And I try and, be positive, and because I want to be a shining example for my clients that, you can stay on track, you can do this. And I will do, I am doing, it's not like I'm binning absolutely everything, but it's flipping hard. It is hard. And I've never ever said anything about weight loss is easy. I've never have done, and I never will do. And it is a bit trickier this time of year. Me and Rachel were just talking about it before. We're just like, we're both ready. I don't know. It's just something about this time of year. You kind of like, I don't know. I love Jan, Feb, March for weight loss. This time of year, it does take a bit more effort. It does take a bit more navigating. It does take that extra little bit. And when it makes it tougher. It does make it tougher. Doesn't mean you can't lose weight, but you just have to be appreciative that, things might be a little bit slower this time of year. But yeah, once you get into, and it'll soon be done. It'll soon be 3 weeks. 3 weeks is Christmas. 4 weeks. It's what? Like 4 weeks? Is it 4 weeks? 5 weeks? It's New Year. And boom, that's it. Done, dusted. Right, let's crack on. And in terms of weight loss, like I can't wait for January. I really, really can't wait for January. And I might have a new motivation. I might have a new motivation for my weight loss in the new year. Not that I'm actually not unhappy with where I'm at now, to be honest with you. But a week today, I have got a consultation with a private surgeon for my knees. What they call, I don't know, what is it, osteo, what they call, anyway, whatever, surgeons that look at joints and stuff like that. And literally from contacting my GP to having an appointment with a private surgeon paid for by the NHS. I'm very, very lucky. Very, very lucky with that. Just the consultations paid for by the NHS. I'm not saying I'll go private, whether that'll manifest into private surgery, but I'm got an appointment a week tomorrow, 10:40 a week tomorrow, and we'll see what's going to be said about my knees. And it could be one of them if he's literally like, yeah, we'll give you 2 new knees as soon as you hit 15 stone. If he said that, bang, that's me. I'm going to lose another 3 stone, and I'll hit it and I'll get it done. So we'll see. Yeah, I might have a new motivation in the new year. It won't be any sooner than that. I know it's going to be at least 4 months before any sort of surgery might take place, but that might be a new motivation. So yeah, but we're hanging on a little bit at the moment. It's far enough away to feel like a long way away, but it's close enough to be like it'll soon be here, if that makes sense. Weight loss is simple and not easy. 100% Hitesh. It really, really, it's something I've said for ages. There's so many simple concepts out there, But just because something is simple, you know, cooking a steak, the premise of cooking a steak is so simple. So why are there people that can charge £100 to cook you a steak? And why are there? Or why can you go to? I don't think you can go to Wetherspoons anymore. Why can you go to a beef eater and get a steak for 15 quid? Yeah, other places you go, it's 50, 60 quid. Because the premise of cooking a steak is really simple, but to execute simplicity is not easy sometimes. It really isn't. In fact, to execute something simple can be a lot hard because there's no margin for error. You know, you're going to cook a fillet steak and you're going to charge 60 quid for it. It has to be like whatever your customer asks for it, whether they ask for it medium, blue, well, it doesn't matter. There's no margin for error. It's going to be absolutely bang on, hasn't it? And weight loss isn't like that. There is. I mean, it depends what you weigh, whether there's margin for error or not. But yeah, the whole concept of weight loss is extremely simple, but getting us to do it consistently, that's the hard bit. That is the hard bit. It really is. But we can all do it. We honestly can. Right, let me do a top 5 this evening. Lou's in at number 1, Callum's in at number 2, Sheila's in at number 3, Kelly's in at number 4, and Regan's in at number 5. Bringing up the rear. Good evening, guys. Thank you very much for jumping straight in the live, coming and saying hello. Jill, hi, your kebab look yummy. Really good. I have made that viral doner kebab like thing. I've made it 3 times now. And I've altered it each time, and each time it's got better and better. And I feel the 3rd time I've nailed it. I don't think I can make it any better. I made it on Saturday for my dinner. There's a guy on TikTok called the Italian Foodie, I think he's called. He's Italian, obviously, and he goes out with a Scottish guy, and his food just looks phenomenal. And he made the viral doner kebab thing. And this, I feel, was a bit of a game changer when you're making it like healthy. So with the viral doner kebab, a lot of people have been using like minced beef. Obviously, I'm a weight loss coach and I'm a weight loss page, so calories are king, right? So a lot of people do minced beef, olive oil, full fat Greek yogurt, all the herbs and spices, which is still fairly calorie controlled. But for me, every calorie is precious. And he actually used, instead of using Greek yogurt, he used like Philadelphia. He used like light soft cheese. And I was like, that is genius. Because if I use light soft cheese, it adds a bit of lubrication to the meat. It gives you some fat, which is what the olive oil would do. And it also gives you a little bit of flavor as well, a little bit of creaminess as well. So that's what I actually did on Saturday, and it worked a treat because previously I've made it with Greek yogurt, but I've not put any like a splash of olive oil in or anything like that. Also, I went to town on Saturday. I proper went into my spice cupboard, so I got like me cumin out, me ground coriander, me fenugreek. I got what else did I get out? Some mixed herbs, paprika, cayenne pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, proper bang, whacked it all in. It was top tier. It's so good. Though I am absolutely sick to death of people going, we've been doing that for 10 years on Slimming World, except we put it in a loaf tin. We've not been doing it for 10 years on Slimming World, have you? You're cooking it in a completely different way. The whole point of rolling it out. Yes, people have been making homemade kebabs like a meatloaf forever and a day. I've done it myself. I've done it on social media, scanned through my TikToks, right? The whole point of the viral doner kebab is not that you're making a doner kebab. It's rolling it out between 2 bits of parchment paper and then folding it over so it actually comes out like doner meat. It's not the actual recipe to make the kebab. It's that you're actually making something that looks like doner meat. Oh my God, I blocked 2 people. I blocked 2 people on Facebook. I literally, like, there are just certain people that comment a lot on your posts. And I don't mean it to be rude. I really don't mean it to be rude. But they just drive you absolutely bonkers. And I'm like, if I have to read another post of someone saying, I've done that before, I've done that before, I've done that before, I've done that before. It's like I'll put a recipe on that I've just thought up. Like I put it on. I made exactly the same dish yesterday. So just coincidentally, I've made this today and posted on it that I've just randomly come up with, and you've followed me to the inch and made exactly the same thing yesterday. You flipping out. Why are you commenting? Just nonsense. Honestly, it drives me wild. Anyway, but yeah, the amount of people that have posted on it. We've been doing that on Slimming World for years. What, making your own type of doner kebab and chopping it so it's like flipping like a doorstop? Yeah, you have. The whole point is not the actual mincemeat recipe. It's the fact that you roll it out in that parchment paper, and it is a game changer. It's an absolute game changer. It's brilliant. Anyway, I'm going to make a festive one on Thursday. I'm going to use turkey mince. So I'm going to make turkey mince doner kebab meat, and we're going to put some stuffing in there, some turkey gravy, some pigs in blankets, all calorie controlled in a wrap. I was thinking of making like a Brussels sprout slaw to go in it, but I think I might just do, I don't know, maybe I might just grate some Brussels sprout and just put it in raw. I don't know, would that work? Or should I blanch it slightly? I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to do, because it's coming up Christmas, I'm going to do like a Christmas dinner. I've never seen anyone do it. No one's done it yet. Everyone's done, like I've seen people do it with chicken mince, people do it with lamb, people do it with beef. Also, the amount of comments get, should be doing it with lamb, mate. I'm a weight loss page. Lamb is a high fat meat. Yes, lamb is delicious, but you cannot get less than 10% fat lamb. Unless maybe you buy like lamb neck, trim it down yourself, and you've got your own mincing machine. I haven't. Honestly, some people, they drive me bonkers. They do. Can you get that? I'm at the end of my tether with certain things on social media now. I don't know. Steph GC, good evening. I'm an all or nothing person, but today I let myself have 3 chocolate digestives before going to the gym as a treat. Love it. Balance. If you want, yes, it's a Tuesday. If you want to have to, and you don't need to go to the gym, as long as hit it, and you know your mindset isn't, I'm having 3 chocolate digestives because I'm going to the gym. And to be honest with you, having 3 chocolate digestives while going to the gym is a great pre-workout. It's a great fuel, so it's fast digesting carbs. You probably had a fantastic workout. It's why people, before they go to the gym, the marshmallow crispy squares or bagels with jam on. 3 digestive biscuits is literally 240 calories. And it will be in your system, raising your blood sugars within half an hour, which will give you great energy for smashing your gym workout. Bleeding freezing, isn't it? Callum, that is an understatement. Yeah, it's really bitter today, like proper bitter. Let me scan up and see what I've missed. Have I missed anything? I have no idea. I don't think I have. I think I'm through. I think I'm through all the comments. I've got a lot of people that keep joining, but I've not got. And it's just he started to does this from time to time. The TikTok like thing that I'm scanning through. It tells you every time someone joins, and because you're on an FYP, like 50 people join every sort of few minutes, and then they'll come in and go, "Oh, I don't like the sound of this knob, and I'll skip on." But it's just it stops you seeing other comments, is basically what I'm trying to say. And just come back for the meal, absolutely stuff. Brilliant, Cam. Hope you've had a wonderful day, mate. Hope you've had a really, really good day. And to be fair, although it's really, really cold, at least you've had great weather for it, haven't you? Great weather for it. How's my day gone today? It's been all right. I literally I made like a roast broccoli sort of soup thing for lunch. It was absolutely delicious. And just a great way to use up a load of veggies and get some goodness in. I did have it with a cheese and ham toasty, but plenty of protein going in there. And then I didn't eat another thing. And then for tea, I've just had a few oven chips, some chicken. I'm like, I keep going out. I need to get my nutrition in. And I've literally had some chicken goujons that were in the fridge, a few oven chips, and 2 slices of leftover pizza from yesterday. That was my tea. It was 800 calories. It's all fitted within. In fact, I think I've eaten today 1,500 calories all in. That's it. That's what I've had today. I've had no more, no less. So calorie wise, I'm absolutely on it. Nutrition wise, again. Anyway, I've said to Rach, well, I'm gonna have no balance tomorrow either. So tomorrow night we're having a roast chicken dinner, which is 700 calories for my roast chicken dinner, and that will be loads of veggies, loads of lean protein, all good. What's my lunch going to be? The new McDonald's menu. So yeah, yeah. So the balance, the balance is yeah, it seems to be like one nutritious meal and one non-nutritious meal, but all calorie controlled a day at the moment. Anyway, I'm not really too bothered. Didn't realize you could pay just to be part of the community. I don't need one-to-one, but enjoy your content. You certainly can. Yes, absolutely. So if you don't feel like you need one-to-one coaching from me, you don't want regular check-ins, you don't want access to my WhatsApp 24/7, that's absolutely fine. You can just come and join my community. We've got a really good WhatsApp community. We've got a Facebook page. I do weight loss coaching lives, 2 1 week, 1 the next week. We also do other Zoom sessions as well. So yes, you can come and be part of that. It's £5 for your first month using code WELCOME. So it's dead simple. Use code £5. That's it. And then after that, it's £9.99 a month. Yeah, it's £9.99 a month. And just had a tea, 401 calories, 46 grams of protein. And so filling banking the calories this week. Regan, you're on it. Getting 46 calories. So protein is 4 calories a gram. So Regan there has had a 401 calorie tea and 100 and let me do the maths, 184 of those calories. So nearly 50% of those calories has come from protein. That is what we call a high protein tea. So yeah, if anyone does want to come and join the community without the one-to-one, and it's a little bit of support for me, you'll get out of it easily what a tenner is. Like I say, first one's a £5. You'll easily get a tenner out of it. £2.50 a week. If you just come and join one Zoom session a week, that's worth £2.50 in it. You can come and anyone, whether you're in the community or you're on plan, when we do our Zoom sessions, you can come and have a natter to me directly, one-to-one, ask any questions. So come get involved. TikTok profile, Facebook page, YouTube page. You need to get to my link tree, scan down, you'll see the community. Bang, click on that in the shop and get signed up. I use the gym as an excuse. I don't train every day, and it stops me having unnecessary treat every day. I didn't have them thinking I'd burn them off at the gym, if that makes sense. Yeah, 100%. What we should never do with movement and food or movement and calories is, right, today I'm moving more so I can have higher calorie foods. Because what that then does is, when days where you don't move too much, and you might be like, well, what's wrong with that? Days where I burn more calories, I eat more calories. No, it doesn't work like that, right? We're not athletes. We're not performance superstars. No one really needs more calories on training, especially if you're overweight, right? People are like, I need loads more calories on training days. No, you don't. It's just a placebo thing in your head, right? You've got energy in your body. Like I say, if you're overweight, you've got stored body fat. Right, and most people have got some sort of. It's very rare people are so lean that they've not got enough body fat to tap in for an extra bit of energy. Right? I mean, how many of you guys on these lives now are like, yeah, my higher calorie days are my training days? Why? You don't need to be. Right? Some of my days where I move the least are my highest calorie days, and some of my days where I move the most are my lower calorie days. Mondays, I very rarely hit 2,000 calories, and I always do more towards 15,000 steps. And I train for an hour, and I don't even eat 2,000 calories. Sundays, I don't exercise whatsoever. It's very rare I'm above 7,000 to 8,000 steps on a Sunday, and I can eat 4,000 calories. All right. So we can't be, you don't want to chase numbers, and you're not hamstering a wheel earning your tea. Because what will happen is you'll end up with days where you're not going to move much, but you need to have more calories. I've been there, right? I used to be an absolute prat with that mindset. We'd have I was really bad for this, like 2016, 2017, really bad for it. and it became an obsession, really, an unhealthy thing. If you go obsessed with anything, it becomes unhealthy. So the gym should be a very healthy part of your life, physically and mentally. And yeah, 2016, 2017, I got to a point where, like, if we had something, like we were going out with friends on a Saturday night, I'd have to go to the gym for 3 hours to train, like 2 to 3 hours. I'd go and I'd do like an hour of weights, an hour of cardio, and then I'd go for a swim afterwards. And that then clashed sometimes, because sometimes Rachel were like, right, we need to, like, let's say, you know, it was Rachel's mum's birthday. Right, we need to go see my mum on Saturday. Right, why? It's her birthday. Okay. When do you want to go? Well, we're out with such and such Saturday night, and I'll need to get ready from like 3:30. Yeah. So, and it's an hour to my mum's and back, and I don't want to be in and out. So we'll probably go about 10. No, I can't. What do you mean you can't? Well, we're out on Saturday night. So I need to train for 3 hours to earn the calories to go out Saturday night. What do you mean? No, I need to. So gym opens at 8. So I'll go 8 till 11. I'll have a shower, get changed, then we'll go to your mum's. Well, no, we can't, because we've got to be back for 3:30. And I'm not just going in and out. Right, well, you go on your own then. That's what I was like. I was like that, because I was like, I can't go and enjoy a higher calorie day or a higher calorie meal, right, unless I train. And I don't know why I got that mindset, but I just did. And I was an absolute prat for it. So we should never use exercise, the gym, movement in general, and as an overall. I mean, we all say it tongue in cheek. You know, we'll go and do a 5 or 6 mile walk sometimes, and I'll be like, oh, I've earned this. I get it, right? And technically, you might have done. We used to, after a game of golf, you have a game of golf, you're in the 19th hole, and you have a pint. Like, ooh, played well today, I've earned this. Right? So I'm not saying I'm not saying you can't do a work and reward thing, but as long as we're just not chasing numbers. So, you know, what I'm trying to say is Hitesh just sort of said, and I know he's not, he seems like he's on, he's not, he doesn't use the gym. He sort of said that, but a lot of people will be like, yeah, I have 3 chocolate digestives on a Tuesday because that's when I gym. It's like, why? Why can't you have them on a Thursday when you don't gym? That's all I'm trying to get at. Does that kind of make sense? It's all about having healthy relationships with food and movement and this, that, and the other. And it's amazing how, you know, too much of a good thing can become a bad thing. And yeah, like I say, I have got obsessed throughout my life with different parts of the journey. And it's not good. It's not good. You know, and a lot of people do. They get obsessed with calories. They get obsessed with exercise. They get obsessed with. I PT'd a woman years ago, and she used to do 30,000 steps a day. It wasn't a job. She didn't have a manual job or anything like that. She just used to do 30,000 steps a day, and she'd be literally like, she'd power walk. So obviously, like, not far off jogging, really, but she'd power walk, hour and a half in the morning, hour and a half in the evening. And it was an obsession. And I could tell when she was describing it to me, I was like, she wasn't describing it in a healthy thing. It wasn't like it was something she really enjoyed. It wasn't her time out. It wasn't her little time away from the family, little time away from the kids, or it wasn't. It was just like, I need to do it. I have to do it. I have to get up. And it would be a case of, you know, she used to do it every morning, 6 till 7:30. But if for whatever reason a partner needed to leave to go to work early, she'd get up and do it 5:30, rather than going for one day out of 3 weeks. I might not get me 30,000. She was like, no, I have to do it. Some people would say, well, that's dedication, Neil. In reality, in everyday life, it's obsession, right? There can be a fine line between dedication and obsession. And like I say, some people might applaud her for it. My philosophies around anything is if it's more of a chore than it is something that you do naturally, right? It's not great. It really, really isn't. We shouldn't be constantly going, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do the other. It should just be something that is built into your lifestyle. It should be, you know, like most mornings I go to the gym. Sometimes I go at 9:30, sometimes I go at 10:30, sometimes it'll just be before lunchtime. It's just part of my routine. And sometimes I'll get to the gym and sometimes I'll just have half an hour because that's all I've got. Sometimes I'll do 45 minutes. Sometimes I'll do an hour. You know, it's just part of my routine. Sometimes, like today, I normally on a Tuesday, I teach spin, which I have done. Excuse me. I don't know where that came from. Bless me. Yeah, so normally on a Tuesday, I teach spin. And what I tend to do is I tend to go through I teach it. My class starts at 5:15. I like to be in the studio 10 minutes before my class starts anyway, just in case there's anyone new that comes in or there's any issues with any bikes or anything like that. So, and I like to do half an hour of weights before I go and do my spin class. So normally I get to the gym for about 4:20. I go set my spin class up. I then go up into the gym. I'll train and do my weights. And then I go back down into the spin studio 10 minutes before. But today, because Rachel's off work, she was like, oh, I'll come to the gym with you. And I was like, well, I normally go at 4:15. She was like, well, if we go at 4:15, I'm going to be there for 2 hours. And I was like, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, I won't do my weights. I'll just do my spin. I do my weights not because I need to, not because I have to. I do it because I enjoy them. But if it doesn't quite fit in or it doesn't quite fit in with, I'll miss it out. And I'm still going to do my spin class. I'm still trained. Right? Some people are obsessed over their routine. And again, there is a fine line between dedication and obsession. Does that kind of make sense? Right, let me scan up and see if I've missed anything. I don't think I have. Tomorrow, like I say, today, my dinner was all right. My tea was a bit hit and miss. Tomorrow, we've got the new Mackey's menu. I think it's out tomorrow. And then I've got a tea tomorrow. But Rachel's back in work tomorrow. And we have enabled each other a little bit the last couple of days. We have enabled each other a little bit the last couple of days. And it's not been easy today because Rachel's still been off. And Rachel has been like, she's like, I'm having this as a bit of annual leave. I'm not tracking. I'm not, you know, she's been away to Belfast for the week. So she didn't track. She's not tracked Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I did track Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I had a day off yesterday with her and I've backtracking today. But when Rachel goes back to work and we're both in the same kind of mindset, it does make it easier. And this is why I always say, excuse me. This is what I always say. You've got to surround yourself by like-minded people because it's so easy to get swayed. If I was weight loss now, and Rachel was the way she has been yesterday and today, right? We'd clash massively. I've always had the strength of mindset to go, well, right, you do what you want, but I'm tracking my calories and I'm not eating that. I have. I've been very good with that most of the time since we've been together. But I'll enable her sometimes. She'll enable me sometimes, and that's just. And we're aware of it, and we keep it in check, right? But to constantly be battling with a partner that's not interested in weight loss, doesn't want to lose weight, even if they need to or not, doesn't want to be healthy, doesn't want to support you, you know, and these are the sacrifices we have to make sometimes. You know, and if you love someone, you'll make those sacrifices. I truly believe that. But we do have to accept that other people have their own issues. And if it's not that, you know, you might have two people in a relationship and they both have a weight issue. They both need sorting out. And one of them has made that mindset that, yeah, one of them's made that mindset that they want to make a change and the other one hasn't. But it's very, very hard. It is hard because you do end up enabling each other. I didn't track Thursday, Friday, Saturday or Sunday. Very busy, hungover. Ate, drank far too much to try. Why? No, you didn't, Caroline. You just didn't want to. Come on, be honest with yourself. And I mean that. I'm not going to go with you. But like, it's not that you ate too much. You just didn't want to. You didn't want to see what you were doing. That's why we don't track. It's not the fact that we've eaten too much. That doesn't go into your app. Your app doesn't go, woo, woo, woo. There's too much calories going into this app. You've not eaten. Now you might be like, and you know what the thing is? If you had tracked, you probably thought, you literally just said that, ate too much, hungover, did it. If you tracked, I bet you'd been miles better than you thought you would have been. Honestly, I mean that. And I'm not having a go. I'm not. I get it. Right? I get it. But always make sure you're saying you're not doing something for the right reasons. Right? Don't not do things for the wrong reasons. Does that kind of make sense? So because I ate a lot, I drank a lot, I ate 6,000 calories on Sunday. It's all in my app. Right? And I was hungover. Right? And I drank 12 pints on Saturday, right? And I was drunk, right? And I tracked. I don't know how. I even normally this would have gone in Sunday morning, but I ate a bowl of granola when I got in from the pub on Saturday night, and that miraculously was in my app. Right? Trust me, that is a very rare occasion. Normally, I'm playing a bit of catch up Sunday morning, going, "What did I eat last night?" And there's normally packets knocking about by the bed. I'm like, right, let's scan that and put that in. Let's scan that and put that in. But it's why we, oh my, I would feel such a failure if that was me. By not tracking, the way you've just commented by not tracking, you already feel like a failure. You wouldn't have felt like a failure. Why would you feel like a failure? Right? You've just eaten a few more calories than you would do normally. And this is why we don't track. So don't say it's because I've eaten too much. No, it's because we don't want to face what we're seeing. We don't want to face what we've done. And I guarantee if I'd not tracked on Sunday, I'd have probably thought I'd eaten 10,000 calories. I don't know, I'd eaten 5,500, I think I had. Right? It's fine. It's 5,500 calories. Right? I banked a load during the week. I wasn't too calorific on Saturday. I ended up 1,800 calories over for the week. And because I know that, scared for Friday, why? Don't be scared to check in. Never be scared. Never be scared of the scales. What's it going to do? What's going to happen on Friday? And I mean this. Caroline's my one-to-one client, by the way. I'm talking like Caroline's my one-to-one client. What's going to happen on Friday if they've gone up £3? It's going to double your mortgage. It's going to make one of your kids poorly. Right? Is it going to pop all 4 tires on your car? What are you scared of? What really, in the reality of things, if you get on the scales on Friday and they've gone up, what is there to be scared of? What massive differences does it? The only difference it makes is to your own mentality, because you want to make a change, but you're struggling to drive yourself to do it. But don't be too harsh on yourself, because this time of year it is tough. And Caroline's only just come on plan with me, and trust me, next year it will be better. It will be better. If Caroline's still working with me next year, that is, it will be better. But I just want to make sure everyone's saying that they're not doing things for the right reasons, because we need to build in good habits now, right? We need to build in good habits now. So the fact you've not tracked for a few days is fine, but just say, I didn't want to track. I didn't want to face what I was eating. That was it, right? It's not because I ate too much. It's not because I was hungover and I couldn't be bothered doing it, right? Nothing to do with that, right? Now, if we end up with a situation like that every other weekend, right, then we've got to be honest with ourselves. We need to check. If we want success on this journey, we need to change lifestyle. This time of year, life can be very, very busy, right? It just can. And I'm a big, I do say this, we need to make some compromises, not sacrifices. But, we just make sure we're doing things for the right reasons and not doing things for the right reasons. Or just being honest with ourselves, right? And the main reason why, if we're having like a calorific weekend, a bit of a blowout weekend, the main reason why we're not going to track the calories is because we don't want to face up to what we're doing. That's all it is. That's the main thing. That's the main thing behind it. I've been there. I've done it loads. I have done it loads. I didn't try yesterday. I did it yesterday, right? And it wasn't because I was scared about seeing what I was eating. We just decided to have a bit of a freedom, just a freedom day. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it's nice just to be able to go to the Trafford Centre and go, do you know what? I'm just going to batter the bank account a little bit for a few hours. Let's go, right? Every now and then we do it. It's all good. It is. It's honestly, it's all good. But the important thing is When that weekend is over, and if we've got to draw that line. We've got to draw that line. And then, if genuinely a weekend like that happens, and the counterbalance of that means you're scared of getting on a set of scales, well, one thing's got to give. Stop weighing yourself then and stop trying to lose weight, or make some changes in your life. But like I say, if it's just a one-off, right, or it's something that you do every couple of months, we can do that every couple of months. It's all good. It's fine, It is. I've lost 5 stone this year, and now on maintenance, really struggling to not eat everything in sight. Why? What? When you say, how have you lost your 5 stone? Why is your appetite like? What have you done to lose it? How come you could control your appetite when you were eating less calories, but now you're struggling to control your appetite? Now you're eating more calories. Why? Got to ask ourselves that. Training 3 times a week in a deficit, and I'm still maintaining. I'm losing the will to live. You're not in a deficit then, Annabelle Moore. You're not in a deficit. You just think you are, right? And forget the fact that you're trading. That's irrelevant, right? That's irrelevant, all right? It's great that you're exercising. It's great for physical health, great for mental health. It won't make a jot of difference to your weight loss training 3 times a week, right? You might go into the gym and do, and I'm not trying to piss on anyone's chips. Again, exercise for the right reasons. Don't exercise for weight loss, right? If you think going to the gym 3 times a week is going to mean you lose weight, going to the gym 3 times a week means you burn 750 calories. So to burn enough calories going to the gym 3 times a week to lose one of these, that's a pound, will take you over a month, right? So let's scrap that. But if I'm in a calorie deficit, but I'm not losing weight, you're not in a calorie deficit. I don't know why. That's something for you to find out. If you want me to find out, come sign up to my plan, right? TikTok profile, Facebook page, YouTube page. It's free to sign up. I'll start you on Monday, and I'll tell you why, right? I'll tell you why now. You're not in a calorie deficit, but I'll find out why you're not in a calorie deficit, right? And then we can make sure that you are in a calorie deficit. And then you will see the scale start to move, I'm right back on it today, and banking calories for the weekend. Brilliant. You're back, and that's all you need to do. If we just have that weekend where things run away from us, can't dwell on it, can't beat ourselves up, but you can't change the past. I say it all the time. I can't change what happened 15 minutes ago, let alone what happened Saturday, right? But what I can change is what's going on this week. I can change how this week pans out, and next week, and the run up to Christmas. I can change all that. I'm in control of that, right? So if I want to be, I can be in control of it. I can lose a good amount of weight. I can keep on track for 3 or 4 weeks and lose 4 or 5 pounds from now until Christmas, if I want to do it, And Carl, that's what you need to do. You need to draw that line. Draw that line, get back at it, tracking, banking for the weekend. And I know we've discussed last weekend anyway. We did try to put a plan in place, but we knew it was always going to be a bit of a busy one, Right, evening, boss, evening, mate. Don't do that now, but the thought is always at the back of my mind when things get to me. I used to binge horrendously, full family pack of choc bars and tan in the cricket. Yeah, it's a common one, Cheryl. It really, really is. And it's just, it's a coping mechanism. It is. It's just a coping mechanism. Caroline, I guarantee, drink plenty of water, right? Get hydrated. You'll have a day this week where you pee a lot, right? Let's see where you get to. Let's see. You'll be fine. You'll be all good. You will be all good. Right. Let me scan up, see if I've missed anything. I'm going shortly. Have I said that? I'm going shortly. No one on here is called shortly. Okay. Not a problem at all. Yeah, I'm a bit knackered today. I'm a bit tired today. I've done a lot. And I feel totally out of routine with being off yesterday. I've been so confused today thinking today's Monday. Honestly, so confused today thinking today's Monday. And it's not going to get any better. It was lovely having a little day off with H yesterday. But in all honesty, me, I love being in a routine. And I'm going to be all over the place all week this week. Yeah, I'll be happy from next week just to be back like
Monday. To be fair, Rachel's off again next Monday, but I'm not taking the day off next Monday. She's actually going out with a friend for the day. I think they might be going to the markets or something like that. That spag bol out of your butt was lovely. Who would have thought to put brown sauce in? Oi, Chris, stop giving my secrets away. You've got to go back. I'm only joking. Yeah, my spag bol. It's something I have done for ages. Yeah, HP sauce in your spag bol. Honestly, why? Why do I put HP sauce in a spag bol? So a good quality spag bol, you will put red wine in it. You'll put some sugar in it as well to sweeten up the tomatoes. And spag bol is basically brown sauce is basically a bit of sugar, it's vinegar, it's dates. So you've got sweet, sour, say you've got a few different things. And yeah, it just works really, really well. It just works really, really well. So glad you enjoyed it. And I know a lot of people might be like, spag bol's just a spag bol. But when we are cooking low-calorie foods, right, you are taking something out that adds loads of flavour. And that's fat, right? So you're making a spag bol with a 5% fat beef mince. And the flavour of that is zero. If you then add tin chopped tomatoes, tomato puree, that's a base, right? So's onion, but it's not going to give you a load of pep, right? So you've got to zhuzh up them dishes. So it is always something that I'm very much like seasoning spices, but sauces like your barbecue sauces, your ketchups, I do another dish, I can't remember what it is, and I put ketchup in it. And I remember some woman going, oh, that's disgusting. Ketchup is for bloody kids and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, look, I'm sorry, Doris, but ketchup is 10 calories per tablespoon. So I can add 4 tablespoons of ketchup to this dish for 40 calories. And the flavor it adds to it is just through the roof. It's just through the roof, right? And yeah, HP in your HP in your spag bol, brown barbecue sauce in your chili, little things like that. And honestly, it is a game changer. Is it more important to do exercise that you enjoy your weights to look better once lost the fat? No, you should exercise whether you're trying to lose body fat, whether you're trying to gain body fat, whether you're trying to maintain body fat. Don't matter. You should exercise, right? So it's no. And then the exercise you should do should be what you enjoy doing. There are certain ways to exercise that I would always recommend that I think is the most beneficial to the body, which is resistance training, right? And I think, and I do genuinely believe this, if most people do resistance training right, they'll love it. They will love it, because I had so many PT clients that have come to me and they'd be like, well, I don't do running. That's good, because all you're going to do with me is lift weights. I can't lift weights. I don't want to end up being bulky or manly. I PT'd a lot of female clients. And I'm like, you won't, right? We're going to lift weights. You're not going to end up bulky. You're not going to end up manly. And you're going to bloody love doing it. And do you know what they used to do? Love doing it, right? Because we'd lift weights in the right. And they'd be like, oh. And I always got this, like, after the first PT session I do with a new client, they'd be like, was that it? Oh, I really enjoyed that. Oh, I can't wait for the next one. Who'd have thought it? Brilliant. Next day, what the freaking hell have you done to me? And I'm like, all right, what? Sinking towel rails, your best friend getting on the toilet? Yeah, it is. And I can't get off it. I had to get my husband to pick me up. Right? I'm like, there you go. That's how we train. You know, absolutely love it. But you feel the benefit of it the next day. And it is a benefit. All right, it is a benefit. Those DOMs are never as bad. Again, as the first time. But anyway, there we go. I've always been told to exercise for health. Absolutely. We exercise for physical and mental health, right? And we control calories for weight loss, weight gain, weight maintenance. Yeah, 100%. That's 100% how it works. I'm almost 11 stone down in 2 years. That's absolutely amazing. Congratulations. Awesome weight loss. Awesome weight loss and healthy, sustainable fat loss at that. You know, really, really is. Right. I think that's me. I think I'm going to bed. I'm tired. That's been a good live, that. Been a good, you know, I do like it when, you know, whether it's clients or not that come on and have a bit of a panic and open up and a bit honest, because it gives a good bit of content to everyone. And it also gives a bit of a reality check, because I'll never preach. And so I know I was at Caroline Sissy track and I was like, I was over and I tracked. I didn't track yesterday. Right? I had a day off, but it was planned. I think that's another big thing. Everything we should be doing should be planned. So if you decide to not, you know, and why it should be is it's about staying positive in here. If you set off with all good intentions, right, and then those good intentions go by the wayside, right, you just end up beating yourself up for days, for weeks. Say like Caroline, she's scared to get on the scales. Whereas, you know, if you're literally honest with yourself and say, look, I've got this on Friday, Saturday, Sunday next week, right? Like, it's carnage. We do it every year. These friends of me, it's carnage, right? Just be honest with you. So I'm going to track all the way up to Friday, right? And then I'm turning me up off and I'll be back Monday. If that's the plan and you stick to it, you'll feel a lot better about yourself. If you're literally like, I've got this over the weekend, but I'm going to track, I'm going to bank my calories, I'm going to stay accountable, I'm not going to drink too much, I'm not going to eat too much, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and that just goes straight in the bin, it will just eat you up inside with guilt. It will just absolutely eat you up inside with guilt. And it'll actually ruin the weekend in a way, you know. It will ruin what should have been a great time. Yeah, but it's just a mindset thing. It is just a mindset thing. How much protein per kilogram would you recommend for a deficit? It doesn't matter. It doesn't make a jot of difference. You don't need to track protein. All right. You should prioritize protein in all your main meals, but you don't need to track to specific amounts. Macros don't make a jot of difference to fat loss. All right. Anyone tells you different, they're lying. Right. I'm kind of lying. Right. What do you mean? Well, look, if you eat X amount of, you know, someone eats 50% of their calories as protein. Protein's got a higher thermic effect than, say, carbs and fat. So technically, you would lose a bit more fat, but hardly anything. But in terms of, you know, someone saying you can't lose fat if you eat more than X amount of carbs, or you can't, or you need to just eat, it's just nonsense. And, you know, for me as a weight loss coach, I just coach everyday people. I don't coach athletes. I don't coach bodybuilders. I coach Joe Blogs, coach me, right? Neil from Blackpool. Right, used to be an accountant, now sits doing these all day, working with clients, helping them lose weight. Yeah, I just coach everyday people, and where the 50% of your calories is protein, 30% is carbs, 20% is fat. Whether 30% of your calories are protein, 30% is fat, 40% is carbs. In the grand scheme of things, it will not make a jot of difference to fat loss. Well, it will. It'll make a jot of difference to your consistency, because you're overcomplicating things. And when you overcomplicate things, you'll find it harder to stick to. Right. And you'll just end up in a whole world of hurt, trying to like, oh, I've hit my protein and I've hit me carbs and me fats, but I'm 300 calories over. Oh, I've not hit me protein, but I've eaten all my calories. Now to hit me protein, I've got to have more calories. Or, do you know what? I've hit me fat, I've hit me carbs, I've not hit me protein, I've got over on me. It's just absolutely blows your mind. And in the grand scheme of things, whatever macro breakdown you try and stick to, if your deficit is 2,000 calories, right, a day, and that's to lose a pound of body fat a week, whatever your macro breakdown is, whether you have 60% of protein or 30% of your calories as protein, you're pretty much going to lose a pound of weight. Like I say, the more protein you eat, the higher the thermic effects, the higher the calorie burn is through digestion. But is it going to make such a huge difference that you'd notice a difference on the scales? Nope. It really isn't. So don't worry about macros. Don't make things more complicated than they need to. And if your main goal, you know, how many... I have a few clients that start working with personal trainers, right? Because they want to go to the gym and train. And they work with me for the nutrition, the calories, their everyday movement, the accountability. And they're like, I'm going to go and see a PT. And that PT then wants to get involved with nutrition. And I've had 3 this year. And my clients must be saying, oh, this PT. I told them at the beginning, I don't need nutrition. I've got a guy that I work with for that. I just want to learn how to put an exercise routine together, or I just want you to thrash me in the gym for an hour twice a week. That's it. As a personal trainer, PT should be like, brilliant. If that's all I need to do, if I don't need to write out a nutritional plan, this, that, or that, great. Right? And every PT, because it's just generic bull, right, has done the same to 3 of my clients. Right? And all 3 different PTs, 3 different clients. I'll get involved in your nutrition. We'll give you a macro breakdown. We'll do this. We'll do that. And I'm like, I'm just like, give your PT my number. Let me FaceTime him and say, why? Why are you doing that? It doesn't make a difference. Right? Macros can change body composition. They can, but not for someone that needs to lose 15 stone. Right? If you get down to a healthy weight and you get down to your goal weight and then you want to become ripped or shredded or you want to start competing in bodybuilding, yes, you might need to be a bit more specific with this and that and the other. If your goal is weight loss because you're overweight and unhappy and unhealthy, nail the basics, right? As the saying goes, a lot of personal trainers try to make you run before you can even walk, right? I'll make you crawl first, then I'll get you walking, right? Because it is slowly catch a monkey, you know? There's definitely a certain amount of protein you must get, though. No. There is for muscle building, not for weight loss, right? And even the amount of protein that people say you should get for muscle building is too much, right? They're like 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, or 1 gram of protein per pound of goal weight, right? That's been debunked. You don't even need that much, right? You know, you don't even need that much. Yeah. So honestly, you don't. You really, really don't. You know, if you want to build, and if you're new to the gym, let's say you've only been going to the gym for 6 months, right? Really, you only need to start eating specific amounts of protein to increase muscle, probably when you're a couple of years into your gym journey. And that's if you've been training right. Honestly, personal trainers will hate the way I talk like this because they probably know the truth, but they want to make out like things are way more complicated than they are. And that's why you need me as a personal trainer, because I'll give you your macro breakdowns and I'll tweak it. Oh, this week I'm going to give you a few more carbs and a bit less protein because you're not quite performing as usual. Or we're just going to shred out that last little bit of body fat. You lose body fat through calorie deficit, right? So people might go, well, why do bodybuilders cut their carbs? Because they have to prioritize protein to maintain muscle mass for competing on stage, right? Yeah. So if you're dropping your calories down and you need to keep your protein high, other macronutrients, which is fat and carbohydrates, have to make way for it. That's the only reason why, right? It's not because they can't lose fat. Basically, bare minimum, a gram per kilogram would. No, you're trying to make things more. You're just trying to confuse yourself. Stop it. You don't need to. You don't need to know grams. You asked about a deficit. You asked about weight loss. You don't need it. You don't need a bare minimum. You don't need to. Prioritize protein in each main meal. Get a good bit of yogurt in for your breakfast. Get a tin of tuna in for your lunch. Get a chicken breast in for your tea. That's more than enough protein for anyone. That's to satiate you, keep you full. Yeah. You don't need to worry about specific numbers. You really, really don't. You can try and convince yourself that you do, but that's just, you don't. All right. Guys, I'm out of here. I said I was going at 20 past. I'm done till 5:30. I'm definitely going. I need to go to bed. Guys, I'm not on social media tomorrow. I'm just working, doing the Everything Weight Loss session for Plan and community members. We will be on at 8:30 a.m. So if you're on Plan or in the community, I'll see you at 8:30 in the morning for the Zoom. If you're not on Plan or in the community, come get signed up. TikTok profile, Facebook page, YouTube page, Instagram. Click on the link tree, scan down. You can sign up to the one-to-one plan. Black Friday Zero, costs you nothing. Or you can sign up to the community. It's £5 for your first month using code WELCOME. Come get involved. And we will. You can come on. You can come and talk to me directly over Zoom and ask me any questions that you want to, and I will try my very, very best to answer them for you, guys. I'm off to bed. I recommend you do the same. Get an early night in, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. If you're on Plant or in the community. If you're not on Plant or in the community, I will be back Thursday morning, 8:30 a.m. TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. So TikTok, we'll sign off to you first. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening. If I don't see you tomorrow, if you're not a planner in the community, enjoy your Wednesday. And I will see you hopefully on Thursday if you're free at 8:30 in the morning. And exactly the same. Oh, let me scan. Hang on, I can't shut TikTok. Oh, I can now. There we go. And exactly the same to you, wonderful people over on YouTube or Facebook. Enjoy your Tuesday evening, guys. Enjoy Wednesday if I don't see you. And I will be back here, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, 8:30 a.m. Thursday morning.